was the moment we've all been anxious and stressed about. You know, the moment where we were going to find out just how bad our financial situation really is thanks to the former NDP government. It was time for the Alberta 2019-2020 first quarter actuals. UCP's Minister of Finance Travis Toews took to the podium, and we can all see the difference between his approach and to former Finance Minister Smiling Joe Ceci. For starters, Toews isn't smiling, and he isn't using any props like work boots that have never seen a day of work in their life. He's serious, he's confident, and he's ready to get to work. And there's nothing to smile about here. How big of a hole did the former NDP government bury us into? Well, they put us on track to be $100 billion in debt by 2023, and those debt servicing costs sit at around $93 million. Their operating expenses were costing us around $270 million, and that's just to keep the lights on. But it's us, the taxpayers, who foot the bill while revenue has remained flat. Rather than smiling through the report for the press, Travis Toews is all business, as a finance minister should be, and he has the credentials to back himself up. He's an accountant, a business investor, and served as the president of the Canadian Cattlemen's Association for 2 years, so he's well qualified to be Alberta's finance minister. Imagine that. Ministers who are qualified and have backgrounds in the positions they've been put in. Now, the NDP thinks the UCP is crazy for this, and throughout Toews' press conference, he used words like spending restraint, clear, credible plan, be responsible with Alberta's money, that the budget should be balanced every single year, thinking of Alberta's long term so that our next generations aren't still paying for the bad decisions of previous governments. That sounds very reasonable and smart to me, but what does our former NDP government think? Ooh, they are mad. Within minutes, their social media accounts exploded bashing the plan. How dare the UCP exercise fiscal responsibility? Now, I'm banned from the majority of NDP Facebook pages, so I wandered over to Twitter, and my 3 favorite NDP amigos did not disappoint. Rachel Notley announced her own set of town halls for budget consultations, which you have to apply for to attend. We all know what that means. You have to completely agree with everything and anything the NDP says to be included, much like the town halls they hosted when they were in government. Now, Rachel also claims that this UCP government isn't listening to Albertans when it comes to the province's finances. I mean, who wants fiscal responsibility and balanced budgets anyway, right, Rachel? And you might be wondering what our former finance minister, Smiling Joe Ceci, thinks about all this. Well, apparently the UCP are keeping the whole budget a secret, even though they're going to be releasing the McKinnon Blue Panel budget report mid-September, which outlines every single detail of our financial situation, which is something the NDP have never done. He slammed the UCP's lack of mentioning any future possible oil prices and claimed that that was proof that their path to balance was working. Well, that path didn't lead to any form of balance, Smiling Joe. It led to credit downgrades, $100 billion of debt, which is nothing to brag about, let alone smile for. Now, he also announced shadow budget town halls where the NDP will listen to Alberta communities and families, like how they listen to investors or the people of Porcupine, Castle Hills, the Bighorn, farmers over Bill 6, everyone in Alberta who didn't want a carbon tax, faith-based schools. I could go on, but then we'd be here all day. Last but not least, I wandered over to Shannon Phillips' Twitter. Now, she has always served Rachel well when she's gone into attack mode, and if politics happen to not work out for her, she can always pursue a career as a professional spin doctor and fearful propaganda generator. According to Phillips, Travis Toews' update was a forecast of doom and gloom, hiding the UCP's evil plan to privatize healthcare, fire teachers and nurses, and to cut frontline services, as if Toews is a supervillain announcing this in the shadows. Now, I watched the entire Q1 update, and I watched Jason Kenney's live Facebook feeds where he answers Albertans' questions in real time. That doesn't seem super secretive to me, but not once through the entire update was there any mention of this evil plan Phillips is forecasting. Even when he was bluntly asked about those very things Phillips is trying to scare Albertans into believing, he said Albertans shouldn't be scared of any cuts. They're not going to be running into our hospitals and schools firing people all willy-nilly. In another tweet, Phillips slammed the job creation tax cut, which in the long run will attract more investors, which will lead to more jobs and will lead to more government revenue. In her mind, that's a terrible idea. Where I laughed was this line in her post. They're not worrying too much about working class folks. Like how you worried about us working class folks when you brought in your carbon tax and chased away over 100,000 jobs and billions of dollars of investment? No matter how you look at it, the province's books are in bad shape, and Rachel Notley, Joe Ceci, and Shannon Phillips are the main cause of that. However, crying foul all over social media because our new UCP government is trying to clean up your NDP mess doesn't give you more credibility, but what it does is it makes the 3 NDP amigos my duckers of the week.